Welcome into the Heffe podcast. It's about being a boss, how to build that energy. I'm trying to get my YouTube going, bro. You should be doing the same. You should be doing the podcast. You should be doing the YouTube. The first thing I want to break down and go over is about an analogy. An analogy which I came up with about going through life and going through different things in life, about experiences and kind of all the above. So, going into it, I believe we are all kind of a product of our environment. DNA, yes, has to go into it, right? But I believe most of it is our product of our environment. And you may ask, yo, Hefe, what does that mean? I'll show you what that means, okay? Okay. All right. Well, going into it is you yourself are an artist, okay? And ever since you're a little baby, okay, you watch, say your dad's angry, right? Say your dad's more of an angry person. He gives you the color red. Say your mom's a little bit sweet, she gives you the color green, okay? Now, as an artist, you got your green and you got your red. Okay, but now you just got to combine them in your painting, right? So you get a little bit of your dad's personality, you get a little bit of mom's personality, and you paint it into a picture. But this picture is your personality. This picture is your aura. So when you're a little kid, the only people who you really see that are closest to you are your parents. And so with that, you kind of take theirs and you mix it up and you get a personality which is your own. Take your parents or maybe even siblings, right? You take it all together and you become who you are. And it goes into your colors, and you're an artist, right? So you go to school, right? When you're a kid, you go to school and you show people your art. Yeah, look at I'm like my dad, I'm like my mom, I'm the best in between, right? Sometimes you get friends out of it. Sometimes you get people like, wow, they're so different. Ugh, you know, who cares? But going through that, the more people you meet, the more color you get. It goes into experience, right? You look at someone who comes up to you and he's just so expressive, or he or she is so expressive and so great, and they give you the color yellow. You're like, whoa, like I've never seen this color before. And now you look back at your painting, you're like, I can't put yellow in this. Where do I even begin to put yellow in this? So you scrap it, and then now you go and paint with yellow, a little bit of yellow. You're like, okay, a little bit of green, a little bit of red, and oh, I can use the yellow as a sun. I can use this way, flowers, whatever. And the more you go to find these colors, the more vibrant they become, right? The more yellow you allow in your life, the more yellow you'll be. And you'll kind of create more of your paintings or your aura with yellow, right? And each color can mean completely different things to you, but usually going with friends and family and people you love, you tend to look for a lot of the same colors, right? And or at least the same depth of colors. Because there's could be someone who's happy in yellow, or they can be delusional happy yellow. You know, there it all goes in like a very, very vibrant spectrum. And the more vibrant people are, the more in depth their colors may be, right? And so it's going in and finding, okay, who has the same colors, or like what colors do I have, and creating your whole personality of your whole life. Okay. And even then, it goes to show once you've painted so many paintings and you've scratched so many, you're like, who am I? Who am I? You got to think. Okay, what do I love? What do I express the most? What draws my attention to this earth? And it goes into you creating your masterpiece. And when you create your masterpiece, you find out who you are. And you find out who you want to be around, friends and family or other people, right? You go into like, okay, this type of setting, this type of group makes me who I want to be. And then you shoot for the moon after that, right? You involve your aura, your personality to other people's around you so they can see your colors, right? So when they go in and they get that yellow, or they go in and get that different colors, they're able to just put it in their life as in the yellow, as in as in multiple things. Okay. Different colors, who knows? Okay. And going on that, right? It goes into like what you chose as your favorite color when you were little. Not a lot of people know why they chose their favorite color. For example, my favorite color when I was younger was orange. Orange, right? Some people are like, oh, okay, yeah. Some people are like, oh, right. When I was little, I was like, you know what? My favorite color is orange. It's so vibrant, so cool. I loved it, right? Every time I'd point out an orange car passing by, people would be, ew, ew, that's orange, ew. I'm like, oh. I was like, I like orange, right? But the more I pointed it out, the more people were like, ew, that color's gross. Ugh. Right? So eventually I kind of changed my color. And just from influence. And, I was like, what color do I like? And I started thinking about it a little bit more and more. And I found the color turquoise. Now, turquoise to me, turquoise, when I imagine turquoise, it goes into very deep, very calm, like wise, very emotionally depth color is where I put it. And what kind of made me want this color is my mom always had like these dolphins, these turquoise dolphins. And so I kind of connected it with like the ocean, with like deep thoughts, just a wide spectrum of just kind of emotional stability in a sense. And I didn't know this at a young age, but I involved my color into my life because it's your favorite color, right? Now, if you think about your favorite color, what is it? Do you know why you picked your favorite color? Do you know why it even is your favorite color? It means a bigger picture in most cases where you go in and sometimes your colors will change. And honestly, I think it's a part of growth. It's a part of who you are and it's a part of your aura, right? What you think your favorite color is could have been a perception that you've seen the world or maybe an emotion that you brought out to the world. And so, going on that, I eventually switched my favorite color to kind of like a peach or a salmon color, right? And going through that, I've started being more colorful, tropical. Like I've been embracing a better vibe. And that's what I get out of my colors, right? And so going through your whole life, your colors may change or you may see different possibilities that you've never seen before. And going in, you want to find people who fit that masterpiece, right? Of your going into your favorite color, right? You've been painting, you found your best painting, you found the best you. You look and you want to find their best them, right? You want them to have a great masterpiece. And if not, that's okay. But going into a relationship type, going from you painting alone to you mastering who you are and now you're your own masterpiece, you find somebody else, okay? And now you find another artist. And with that, you get together and then now you have to learn to paint with each other. And what I mean by that is you have to go through a lot of emotional experiences with them. And sometimes it's for the better and sometimes it could be for the worst. But with that is you have to be able to paint with them as in having certain colors of them pop out and having certain colors of yours pop out. A lot of people, that I know actually, when they get into a relationship, they love this person, they fantasize, right? They put them on this throne, but it might not be the way back. And when it's not, they're dimming all their colors down so their partners can pop out, right? So whoa, their colors are very vibrant. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But they don't realize that they're just dimming all their colors. So by the time it's been a year or 2 years, however long, they realize that they've dimmed themselves down a lot. And sometimes the person who's super vibrant realizes that, like, okay, like my colors must be super so much brighter, and so they'll split. And there's nothing wrong with that. But a lot of people when they split, and they're dim, it's hard to build yourself back up. So when you go back to who you are as a person, you try to get your colors more vibrant again, they're going to be bright to someone who's looking only at dim colors, because in that mind they're not going to be dim because they're the only colors there, right? And so the more they look at their own colors and figure out who they were and take that experience and like, I don't want to do that again. I want to make sure my colors are solid. And it goes into that. And so what I take out of this analogy is everybody has their color and everybody has their aura, right? What is your aura? How are you as a person to others? You know, like, was that bad relationship really a bad relationship? Or does it fall back onto how you held other people versus how you held yourself? I think that takes a big part and a big picture into who you are. And it's crazy to think about. It happens in most scenarios, right? And just people and friends, because a big example of like people, right? People will judge. People will criticize and do this that because they might not have a lot of emotional depth. They might not have a lot of colors they experience, right? And what I mean by that of wearing long earrings or painted nails, which I don't have at the moment, but like a lot of people are like, "Oh, are you gay?" No, dude, I'm completely straight. But it brings the like, oh, okay, I guess you can wear nails and be straight. I've never had that before. Could give them a new color, could give them a new broad aspect of the world. Who knows, right? But allowing people to change your color, right, to put you down, to make you second think, it's not good. But if you love something and you've created something, hold on to it, even though people are judgmental, right? Because a lot of the people who say that to me just don't know. They're like, oh, okay, like I just assume, like, and even though they assume it's okay, because now you inform them, like, hey, it's not this way, it's not that way. They're like, okay, I can see that now. So next time that arrives, people will be more cautious on asking or be more like, hey, like, why do you like your nails being painted, or your why what's the thing about it, right? Instead of people just shooting. And some people just are assholes, straight up assholes. Okay? But it's about making you the bowels of your own personality, of your own you. When I was younger, I got buried in the snow, and I sat there, and I sat there. Good, can I move? But I sat there and I pondered. I'm like, why is the world so cruel? Right? Because I've gotten bullied from everything, right? I had no hatred, but I just thought, like, why is this world so cruel? And it went into a deeper meaning that I even understood about myself as I'm just different. I'm just different. I have a different thing about me than others. And I think a lot of that going into this color analogy is figuring out what's different about you and what colors do you bring to others, right? How are you opening other people's eyes in the world? Because I guarantee a lot of you guys have, but you just may have not noticed. And it's hard to notice. I won't lie. It's hard to notice, but when you kind of do, you're like, oh, hey, like me saying hi to this person may have helped their day, may have even brought them somewhere else, or even motivated them. You never know, right? Unless you know what colors you have and who you are as a person, you further go on how much you can help other people, if that's how you want to be, right? Some people do get closed off, even though they're super expressive. Like me, I'm an extrovert introvert. You can catch me laying and eating ice cream every day, watching anime, getting going nice and fat. Or you can catch me doing podcasts and going out dressing up, running, pouring milk on myself, right? I'm both. But it gives me a better observation in the world when I can go and see, okay, this is why I am this way. Boom, this is why I am that way. Boom, let's make best of both worlds. So kind of going into this analogy is, where do you see yourself in the future, right? And a lot of us are very, unmotivated, and it's like, is that really going to happen? Because there's a lot of doubt in the world. But when you actually start putting your foot forward and putting your foot forward again and again and keep taking those steps, you realize that things are a lot closer than they seem. Even doing this podcast, like, I can feel the grasp of the world just at my fingertips. But the reason why I can is because I understand myself, and I am not fighting internally to start doing stuff externally. So by the time that you understand your aura and you go back to yourself and you rethink and you look deep into the fire or even into the mirror, you think about how you came to this earth and what you want out of this earth, or what you want to give to the earth. And so once you kind of figure out who you think you're meant to be, shoot for the moon. Shoot for the moon, because I guarantee your life is going to change no matter what, right? It may not be exactly what you thought, but you're also going to grow into this new you. And so I've seen countless friends and people grow into a different them, and I'm ecstatic about it. It is so cool, because you go and think about, like, a kid, right? There's thousands of possibilities they can go into, but you can, like, I've been able to see a lot of their environment kind of shape them. Sometimes it could be bad, sometimes it could be great, but it more goes into, what is your environment, right? Do you have friends who kind of tell you, like, oh, you're this and that, and you're kind of lame and da da da, but they still proceed to hang out with you because you're you? It might not be a you issue. And honestly, a lot of people will hate. Everyone won't praise because they're jealous. There's even times where I'm like, they're making content and I'm not. Who are they? What do they mean to me? Like, what? I'm supposed to be the best, but I'm not. But I'll get there, right? And it's all, well, it's ogden for you, but it's all who you are, and we all go through things, right? What is the best you? Who is the best you? Anyways, going into this, you are an artist. Find your creativity. I was able to kind of go through the wines of the world, and honestly, somebody helped me with this. Like, it wasn't just me alone. I was able to see this artist, this beautiful, beautiful artist, painting all these beautiful, beautiful pictures. And and I asked her, and I'm like, what does this art mean to you? Like, what emotions do you have when you do your art? And she said, honestly, like, I'm sad when I do my art. I'm more depressed. I'm very solemn when I do my art. And that got me thinking. I'm like, why? Like, interesting. Like, why does she's able to express that, through the art? And I got to thinking, what's my art? What's my creativity? It's personality, baby. It's personality. Okay. It's, you know, but it goes, I feel like I've been through so much, right? Maybe I haven't even been through it, you know, but I feel like I've been through countless walks of the world, and to where I swear I have a lot of everything. And to be able to express that and to be like, I am me, like, this is me, I'm everything, I'm a god. God. No. I believe I just have a lot of emotional depth on who I am as a person. And that feels like my art, right? I can portray a lot of things. I can portray someone who's happy as fuck. I can portray someone who's mad, who's pissed, who's sad, who's glad, right? Maybe that just makes me want to be an actor. Who knows? But going into this, it's my form of art. I think we're all artists. I think we're all artists in this goddamn world. But it's up to you to point out your creativity. It's up to you to choose your colors. It's up to you to paint your colors, right? If you're constantly surrounding yourself by yellow, well, goddamn, your page is about to be yellow as hell, right? You just got to find that equal balance. Too much happy is delusion. Too much sad is sorrow. Like, you just got to find that happy medium, baby. You just got to find that happy medium. And I encourage you to go out and think about your colors. Why did you choose your favorite color? What do you think colors mean to you? How do you think you can make them mean more to others? And more realistically, how can it shape you to the best you that you can? This is the Heffe podcast, and it goes into you defining your aura and becoming a boss as in mentality, aura, strength, experience, going in to who you are, who I am as a person, who we all are together. And I welcome you to the Heffe podcast. Go follow me on YouTube. Go like, subscribe. I got no content early, but go like, subscribe. Who cares? Be the boss, man. Be the Heffe.